If you are in the WhatsApp group, I have posted an interesting thing to you. We have been trying to explain something that can't be explained so easily. Urdhumulamada Shakam Ashwatam Prabhuravam. Look here, there is just a simple scientific analysis. Earth is just one of the 3.2 trillion planets. I think, Kannan, I think you have also got it. You are in the group. Yeah.
Yes, but I haven't checked the message yet.
Yeah. One of the 3.2 trillion planets. And then in our galaxy, and there are many galaxies also like that, the sun is just one of the 200 billion stars. The sun, whom we call sun, who has been giving us light, is one of the 200 billion stars. He is just one. Stars in the Milky Way. The Milky Way is just one of the 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. That is to say, what is the size of the earth? You can notice there, sun itself is unseeable. What could be the size of the earth? And if the size of the earth is something like a microscopic, what could be our sizes? If you think about these things, you will be really wonderstruck what this universe is. So Krishna is trying to explain something that can't be explained so easily. That's why he said first 4 shlokas, maybe you thought it a little difficult. Urdhva moolamada shakam, he said. Up, he said. Shaka are the branches are downwards. There is no such thing as up and down. What I call, when I show this way, this is my up. And Kandan's up is my reverse. You are in America, and what I call down is your up. So ups and downs are meaningless now. Left and rights are meaningless. The entire universe is something that can't be explained, that is to be explained. Therefore, he said in the third shloka, Narupamasyeha tatoparabhyate. He explained in 2 shlokas what could not be explained, and he immediately said, it can't be perceived as I said to you, to Arjuna, to us. So what is the way left for us in this complicated, unexplainable world that we are in? Only way is to get out of it. Asanga shastrena drudena chitva. Be detached and get out with knowledge. And that is to say, get liberated, go out of this cycle of birth and death, and be relaxed. That means that is the end of it. Tatapparam tat parimargitavyam yasmin gata nadivartanti bhuyaha. Therefore, he said in the 4th shloka, therefore we have to investigate what could be done with it. What is the way that we are not there in the cycle of birth and death? For that, we have to surrender tameva chadyam purusham prapadye. 4th sloka I am referring to. We have to surrender to that cosmic consciousness who is all pervasive. And when I say this, you have to remember the 12th chapter also. God, Arjuna asked a very interesting question. Has God a form or is he without form? Who is greater? That was the question he asked in the very first sloka of 12th chapter. Krishna said, when everything is an expression of God, I can be seen in form, I am always everywhere also. We consider it avatars. In one avatar he was born. And we also know That God, avatar, I go a little beyond that, the concept of avatar. God has only come 10 times in 10 avatars. No, not at all. Wherever you are in difficulty, if somebody has come to you to help you to overcome your problem, that was nothing but that avatar that came to you to help you at the right time. Surrendered people will definitely get a clue from the cosmic consciousness with somebody. You may not be able to see the truth behind it. Myself and my wife were traveling to a place, a distant place in the village. When we got down from the bus, it was late. We did not really know the route to the house where we were going. We only knew the direction. But it was so dark that we did not even have a lamp. So we had to see the way, looking at the sky where the road opens, no trees are there. You can see the road is there here. I shouted for help and nobody came. Ultimately, a man came with a torch. He took us to the house which we wanted to go. And he went away. What do you call that man who came in such a situation? Where I shouted, nobody came. Still we were walking. Somebody came with a torch, left me where we wanted to reach. This kind of help you have to pursue, so that we need not have a belief that only Avtara happens, God comes only next as Kalki. He is there with you and with me every time that we are living. Only we must have that broad mind to see it. So we have to find that cosmic consciousness. Tatah param tat parimargitavyam yasmin gata nanivartanti bhuyaha. Having been there, we will not be reborn. We have to find the truth. And we have to surrender to that cosmic consciousness, which we are also a part. Mamayvamsho jivaloke jivabhuta sanatana, he said. We are all his, say for example, small sparks of fire, which he will also say again. And then that is the only way left for us. With knowledge, we have to come out of this vicious circle, he says. And we have to pray him to get back there. I think we had completed that one also. And in every chapter, Krishna tells us what we ought to do when he gives us a problem. We have come to shloka number 5. Am I right? Yeah. Nirmana moha. What is it?
Yes, Gurugale, 5th shloka.
Yeah, thank you. Nirmana moha jitasanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivritta kamaha dvandve vimukta sukha dukkha sanghai gacchantya moda padamaviyam tat. There is a concept of liberation in us, in our culture. To have that liberation, we must not have that ego with us. Nirmana moha. I am great. I am so big and so on. That should not be there. Jita sanga dosha. Jita sanga doshaha. And we must also have detachment. We must not have jita sanga dosha. Adhyatma nitya. Always concentrating on the adhyatma jnana. Vinivritta kamaha. Having left all desires. Atmanaiva atmana tushta stita prajnasta tojjate, Krishna said to us in the 2nd chapter when he was explaining stita prajna. So he is vinivritta kamaha. Satisfied, having no desire, having no ego, a beautiful human being, Dvandvair Mukta. He has got no duality whatsoever. Sukha Dukkha Sangai. They are equal to him. When pain comes, he bears it as easily as he would bear the pleasure. Sukha Dukkha Sangai Gachyante Moda Padamavyam. That man of knowledge, Amuda is the opposite of Muda is ignorant. Amuda is man of knowledge. The man of knowledge who realizes will reach that state of not being reborn again. The moksha in our philosophy is to go out of the cycle of birth and death. So he has been asking us to cultivate certain habits so that we could reach there. Nirmana Moha, that is to say, we must not be having too much of ego in us. Jita Sangha Doshaha, and we need not be demanding respect, that is what is your book says. And we must be detached from everything that we have to say. Have an interest in the Adhyatma, that is Atma, to find the Atman, the Sakshi in each one of us. So we already know that the body is not the thing, the observer, Sakshi is what we are, but we still think body is we are. That is the problem with us. He says again, Vinivritta Kamaha. That can be, this highest state can be achieved by a man who has no desire whatsoever left. Dvandvair Vimuktaha. He has no duality left. Good and bad are equal to him. Sukha and Dukkha are equal to him. Gachyante Muda Padamavyam. That man of knowledge, Amuda is not the opposite of Muda. That man of knowledge reaches there. Underline that. Gachyante Muda Padamavyam. That is the state of liberation which Krishna calls in Bhagavad Gita. We Stitva Syamantakaalepi Brahma Nirvana Mrichati. That is what he said in the last shloka of Stita Prajna Lakshana of second chapter. That is, when once a man becomes a God-realized or self-realized man, Atmajnani, he need not be born once again. So that is the state to which he is again referring to go out of this participating in this world with cultivating certain qualities of Nirmana Moha, Jita Sangha Dosha, Adhyatma Nitya, Vinivritta Kamaha. Having left all desires, Dvandvair Muktaha. He has no Dvandva at all. He has come out of the Dvandva. Which are the Dvandvas? Sukha Dukkha Sangai. Sukha and Dukkha, there are two things. But our problem is we only want Sukha and no Dukkha at all. But life is a mixed bag. We have joys, as well we have sorrows. When joys are there, then we are very happy. Oh, I have got what I wanted. Only a self-realized man can be happy when the joy is not there also. That is to say, I am to bear with this. He goes on bearing with this, facing the situation coolly. Dvandvair Mukta Sukha Dukkha Sanye Gachyante Muda Padamavyam. That Amuda, who has got these qualities of Nirmana Moha, Jita Sangha Dosha, Adhyatma Nitya, Vinivritta Kamaha, Dvandvair Mukta Sukha Dukkha Sangai. When a man has these qualities, Gachyante Muda Padamavyam. That Amuda, that is, man who is not ignorant, man who has got knowledge, will get into that state of liberation. Padamavyam Tat. That is the state to be reached by a man when he gets liberated. In the previous chapter also, Krishna has asked what is the nature of that Gunatita. Remember? So he had explained the Gunatita also in the last 4-5 shlokas. So that he is repeating again. If he has got that quality, he will be liberated from the cycle of birth and death. I think we can recite. Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha
Nirmana moha jita sanga doshaha
adhyatma nitya vinivritta kamaha
adhyatma nitya vinivritta kamaha
dvandvair vimuktaha sukha dukkha sanyaihi
dvandair vimuktaha sukha dukkha sangyaihi
gacchantya mooda padamavyayam tat
gacchandya muda padamavyayam tat
nirmana moha jita sanga dosha
nirmana moha jita sanga doshaha
adhyatma nitya vinivritta kamaha
adhyatma nitya vinivritta kamaha
द्वन्द्वैर् विमुक्ता सुख दुःख संज्ञैः
dvandvair vimukta sukha dukkha sangyaihi
गच्छन्त्यमूढा पदमव्ययं tat.
gacchandya muda padamavyayam tat.
Can we see that state? He explains. न तद् भासयते सूर्यो न शशांको न पावकः. That state of liberation cannot be seen with the sun's light. न तद् भासयते सूर्यः. He cannot show. Surya himself is the creation, the creation of that cosmic consciousness. How can he see the creator? Therefore, na tad bhasete surya. With Surya's light you cannot see that. Na shashankaha. Chandra's moon's light you cannot see that. Na pavakaha. Agni also cannot show that. Surya, Chandra and Agni, three things mentioned in this line, are the creations of that cosmic consciousness. They are also the outcome of that cosmic consciousness which are there. So with this, these things cannot show that highest position. And what is that position? Yadgatva nanivartanta taddama paramam. Underline that shloka, it's wonderful. Having reached there where we won't return once again at all, that is my highest state of being. Yadgatva nanivartante taddama paramam mama. That is my highest place. That is the highest place that a man can reach. Go out of the cycle of birth and death means dissolves back into cosmic consciousness. No separate existence is necessary for him once again at all because he is Paripurna. Purna Jnani. He has known the truth. No desire left in him to be born again to satisfy the desire. That is it. Natad bhasete suryaha. Sun cannot illuminate that highest state of liberation or that highest state of cosmic consciousness which we call God. Natad bhasete suryaha na shashankaha. Chandra also cannot illuminate that. And when Chandra doesn't illuminate, how can Pavaka? Pavaka means Agni. You can write it. Agni also cannot illuminate. When that cannot be illuminated, what could that be? Yadgatva nanivartante taddama paramamama. Having gone there where one doesn't return, that is the highest state of my being, Krishna says to us. Yadgatva nanivartante. Having reached there is no return. Return to the life, return to the cycle of birth and death. That is the highest state which our culture is showing to the sadhakas. That happiest condition where a man dies without any desire left, perfect, having done all the things to the best of his ability, offering them back to the cosmic consciousness and relieved totally, will not be reborn at all. Taddama paramamma, that is my highest state. That is where I stay eternally. He will merge back in me. he will merge back in me. Na tad bhasete suryaha, na shashankaha, na pavakaha. That highest state which a man has to reach cannot be illuminated with the light of the sun, light of the moon, or the light of the fire. And that state is yadgatva nanivartante. Having reached there, one doesn't come back. Yadgatva nanivartante, having gone there, one doesn't come back. Taddhama paramam mama. That is my highest state. It's not Swarga, it's not Naraka. It is actually going away from the cycle of birth and death, dissolving back into that cosmic consciousness from which we have all emerged. We have come there, we will go in. That's our house. Where we came from there, our return journey must also be there. So Krishna is showing the return journey to his place in different ways in different chapters. He doesn't say that leave everything and go out. Participate in everything, still you can come to me is the secret of Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna has to fight and he can get liberation. We have to live still, we can get liberation. Not that you leave everything and run away from the world. Those who have, we have great respect for those sannyasis who have left everything, and that's why we always mention Ramakrishna, Ramana Maharshi, Chandrasekhar Bharati, Raghavendra Swami, and so on and so forth. They are living example for us how a man can be liberated while living. When we give those 4 or 5 examples, doesn't mean that the family people are not there. Plenty of them are there, in family people are there who also reach this place. Arjuna, it is possible for Arjuna, who is a warrior, to reach it. Yeah, what about we people? Our job is not as difficult as Arjuna's. We can also read that. There's a great shloka, underline it. Let's recite. Natad bhasayate suryaha,
न तद् भासयते सूर्यः
na shashanko na pavakaha,
न शशाङ्को न पावकः
yadgatva na nivartante,
यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते
taddhama paramam mama.
तद्धाम परमं मम
न तद् भासयते सूर्यः,
न तद् भासयते सूर्यः
न शशाङ्को न पावकः,
न शशाङ्को न पावकः
यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते,
यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते
तद्धाम परमं मम.
तद्धाम परमं मम.
And how does the creation happen? He tries to explain how we are created. A big fire is burning, and sparks go out everywhere. In the same manner, mama yuvamsho jivaloke jivobhuta sanatanaha manashyasthani indriyani prakrististani karshati. In each jiva, he has already told us in the Matta Paratarannasti Kinchidasti Dhananjaya, and he also told Sutre Maniganaiva. He is there in each one of us as a Sakshi. Mamayvamsho Jio Loke Jio Bhutas Sanatanaha. This Jiva, in this Jiva Loka, that Sanatana Chaitanya of mine will express itself in the form of living beings. And he manashyasthani indriyani sharirani prakritistani karshati. There is one question which is generally asked. Is the number of living beings always the same on earth? Krishna doesn't say human beings can increase, because he can express in any different form at any different time. In the form of animal, form of tree, and so on and so forth. Therefore, though there is no limit to number. And then, Mama Yuvamsho Jivaloke Jivabhutas Sanatana. My Amsha takes the form of Jiva on earth. We are only referring to earth now, not to that which we trillions of stars and planets we referred to earlier. We have come back to our level. Jivatma, eternal Jivatma in this body is a fragment of my own self. He has come, he is expressing as you and me here. And that alone which draws around itself mind and five senses. That small spark which has come out of that main spark takes Jivatma, takes senses, five senses and mind and a body. Alone, which draws around itself mind and five senses, which abide in Prakriti, which are already there in the Prakriti, it will take a new form. So this is how a new being is created. I remember that there is one thing called Garuda Purana. Maybe most of you have heard. It's also a great book that this culture has given to the world. I was reading Garuda Purana when my mother-in-law had died. So generally they recommend to read it, Garuda Purana, at the time of somebody's death in the house. But the introduction of that book, I saw an interesting thing. A medical doctor, when his mother passed away, he somehow got a Garuda Purana to be read. He knew Garuda Purana has got so many things in it. He went on reading it when we call Sutaka time. That is 10, 11 days we will be in Sutaka time. That is what we generally say. So we went on reading. He was so much surprised how the new creation happens is explained there. He was a medical doctor. He saw exactly the same thing what is happening, what we know that a new creation happens was told in that book which was written many, many years ago, one of the Puranas. Garuda Purana is one of the 18 Puranas. And he was so much influenced, he got printed 3,000 copies and distributed it to all spiritual places and many of the schools, free of cost. Such wonderful things are there in some of our great scriptures. So that is how the creation begins. That is what was told there. He was a devotee of Sai Baba also. So with the blessings of Sai Baba, he got them printed, 3,000 copies, and distributed to the people around who wanted to know about the Garuda Purana. That is what I heard. So, Mama Yuvamsho Jivaloke Jivabhutas Sanatana. My own Amsha comes as a Jivi and takes five senses and the mind and becomes a new one started. Mama Yuvamsho Jivaloke Jivabhutas Sanatana. His Sanatana Amsha, eternal cosmic consciousness, is expressing in this form of a small creature. When he comes to a womb, he gets Manashashtan Indriyani. Look there, second line first. Manas and Indriyas, mind and five Indriyas. We already know our ear, nose, skin, touch, and taste. So he will take new senses, which are already there in the Prakriti, and he will become a new being. A new life is born. We are all born like that only. And once we are born, the cycle will begin. The karma will start. We will do something good which we have to live to taste it. we will do something bad which we have to suffer it, and all things begin. And the life begins. Mama yuvamsho jivaloke jivabhuta sanatana manas sheshtan indriyani. Manas and indriyas prakriti sthani karshati. They draw from the prakriti and the new being happens. That's how we have all happened. And after our death also we will go to the next birth. According to Bhagavata, there is an interesting thing. I think you have all seen leech. So leech goes this way. They have two ends to move, or not with their legs. One end, front portion, it sticks to the ground and lifts the back, and then this way it goes. Bhagavata says, when we leave this life, our next one is already prepared, where we are to go and be born. And our children are our karmas. All around us are our karmas. So, entire thing is very calculated way it is going on. We think that it is accidental. Krishna says, no, it's not accidental. It's happening according to a plan of cosmic consciousness. So he will be born taking Prakriti, Manasu, and Indriya and others. Interesting shloka, you can underline. Let's recite. Mamayvamsho jivaloke
Mamaivamsho jivaloke
jiva bhuta sanatanaha
jiva bhutas sanatanaha
manashashtan indriyani
manashashtan indriyani
prakrtistani karshati.
prakrtistani karshati.
Mamayvamsho jivaloke
Mamaivamsho jivaloke
jiva bhuta sanatanaha
jiva bhutas sanatanaha
manashashtan indriyani
manashashtani indriyani
prakrtistani karshati.
prakrtistani karshati.
And then continues, Shariram yadavapnoti yachap yutkramatishvaraha. This, I have to say something which is not mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. We have got Sukshma Sharira, Annamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Jnanamaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha. Everyone is a unit by ourselves. So we have started an individual life with our own names. So when death happens, we will go to the next jiva, to the next jiva, to the next jiva, and so on. When liberation happens, we will get back into that cosmic consciousness. Shariram yadavapnoti yachap utkramatishvaraha. Now this becomes a jiva. The Atman has become a jivatma now. It's a separate unit in me and in you and everyone. Shariram yadavapnoti, when he gets a sharira, grihi tvaitani samyanti vayur gandha nimashayat. Beautiful explanation how we go to the other life. When we leave this body, the Sukshma Sharira powers, according to the karma we have done now, will go into a womb that is there for our next life. And there we will begin to grow. In also 6th chapter, we know that you cannot explain a human being without explaining birth and rebirth. In two of the major religions, only one life you have. Either you go to heaven or you go to hell. And for us, for Indian thinkers, hell and heaven are not ultimate places. Swarga is not our ideal. Kshine Panya Martyalokam Mishanti, he said. Even if you do the greatest yajna and reach Swarga, when your punya is over, you will come back here. And when does it end? Only it can end with moksha. Only when it ends, when we become perfect. Shariram yadavapnoti yachapitkramatishvaraha. This small unit, which is a jivatma now, has all the karma within it. leaves this body and goes to the next womb to get a new body. This body secret is an interesting thing in our culture. Even Rama and Krishna do not violate this body laws. A man has a definite life to live. Say, for example, 100. Then one had to go. They don't even violate their own rules. Follow that. And that's why we see Bhagavata, Krishna leaves his body explained, how he left his body is explained. In Ramayana, how Rama left his body is explained. And that doesn't mean that they are not there. They came here for a purpose, completed the purpose, left the body. Say, for example, Shankaracharya. He had just 32 years to live, but did unimaginable job, going through the country twice, establishing mutts, re-establishing Hinduism, removing all the ill things that had got in there within 32 years. And Vivekananda, with his 34 years of life, he could do the same thing to the entire world. He could say that here is a culture which will tell you how to get liberated, how to live a beautiful living, and so on. And what should be our age? There is one shloka which I always appreciate. Badram karne vishniyama deva, you can note down. Badram karne vishniyama deva, we are praying God, let me listen well. Badram pashye, let me see the things well. Makshavir stire rangai stushtuvan, with my beautiful body, stable body, Vyashema devahitam yadayu, let me live as much as you want me to live. Not 100 years. We will go one day when he decides it is enough for us to having lived here. Whether we like it or not, we have to go. Instead of weeping that we would go, we must be enjoying that we would go. There is a difference between. Old people get a doubt. What would happen to me? There is one prayer which we always make, I have told you many times. Anayasena maranam vina dainyena jivanam mahesha krupya dehi tvai bhakti machanchala. Our prayer is simply this ultimate prayer. Give me a peace, give me a painless death. Anayasena maranam. Not putting in a hospital, putting a life support system for months together and so on, and every day go on paying whatever he did earn in his life, whatever his children earned in his life to the hospital, and when that everything is over, take back the body and burn it. No. There was a special doctor who came to Diabetic Forum in Shimoga. This is a time where you have to do a will. The will that you must not be put on life support system and taken to the hospital, unless you have some children who are there in the other countries who must come and see you, see the man there. So his advice was, you must write a will. Don't put me on any circumstances on life support system to the children. If not, they will take there, they will keep you there. Neither they allow you to die, nor you will live there. So this is an interesting thing. Not 100 years. Our medical system, it has done a lot of useful things, and it's also giving more trouble to the people who want to die peacefully. I was just the other day told, yes, by one of my students. He had some problem with the brain. Took to the hospital. So they cut open some part of this bone over the brain, removed the liquid and set it back. But the liquid comes again and again. So they have inserted a tube there inside for the liquid to come. The man is not normal now. He cannot die, he cannot live. Is it needed? Is it needed to keep us alive like that? Such things are there. Somebody, I was told, was removed this lower jaw because there was some problem with him. Allowed to live on food that is to be poured through the poured to the stomach itself. Such horrible things are there also with us. For that, Bhadran Karnayam Pishnayam Deva is a beautiful prayer. Devahitam Medayuhu. As much as you want me to be here, keep me here. It could be 32, it could be 34, it could be 100, it could be 110, whatever God has given us to live like. And that should be a satisfying life. So here he says we will get a new body and we will get all the senses and the mind as if did we recite the seventh one, Kanan? You are mute.
Shariram Yadavapnoti, we have not recited.
Yeah, let's recite. Shariram yadavapnoti
Shariram Yadavapnoti,
yachapyutkramatishvaraha
Yachyap Yukramatishvaraha,
gृहीत्वैतानि samyati
Grihitvaitani Samyati,
vayurgandhani vashayat
Vayur Gandhani Vashayat,
shariram yadavapnoti
Shariram Yadavapnoti,
yachapyutkramatishvaraha
Yachyap Yukramatishvaraha,
gृहीत्वैतानि samyati
Grihitvaitani Samyati,
vayurgandhani vashayat.
Vayur Gandhani Vashayat.
There is a beautiful part of that sentence I did not explain in that shloka. You say, how do we go to the new body as wind takes smell from one place to the other place? Vayur gandhani vashayat. Underline that. That's a beautiful thing. When there is a smell, there is a small flower called night queen. So when you go in the evening, the smell comes to you from a far off distance. The flower is somewhere there, you cannot even see that flower. I don't know what they call in your own languages. We call it night queen, Ratri Rani we call it. And this, that won't smell at all in the daytime. It only smells at night. The smell reaches far off distance through the wind. That's exactly what Krishna is telling us that we would happen in our rebirth. As Vayu takes the smell from one place to the other, this Jivatma flows one body to the other body, one room to the other room, as long as he is rotating in this earth, being not liberated. So Vayurgandhani Vashayat is a wonderful expression Krishna has been giving. I gave the example of leech earlier. This way we go. Krishna's example is not this. I gave from Bhagavata. Krishna says here, as the wind would take the smell from the original place to the far off places, Jivatma also, according to his karma, when he leaves this body, goes to the next body to continue his journey. How long the journey will be there? Till liberation, the journey ought to be there. So that's it. And then what happens next, we will see. Shariram, that's all. Shrotram chakshusparshanancha rasanangranameva adishtaya manaschayan ushayanupasevate. When he is born, he has got ears, he has got eyes, he has got touch, he has got taste, he has got other things. 5 senses he has got. Shotram chakshus parshanancha. This Jivatma gets his ears, eyes, skin, or tongue, and nose, smell. and also a manas, which was there in the previous life. Taking that one, he begins to experience where he had left in his previous lives. It starts. You had it very beautifully explained in the 6th chapter, if you remember. Shichinam Srimatangehe Yoga Brashto Vijayate, he had said. Yoga Brashta who had made some sadhana here but did not achieve his goal, what would happen to him was the question asked by Arjuna. He will never perish, Krishna had told him. He will go to Shichinam Srimatangehe Yoga Brashto Vijayate. And he will go to the house where he has to continue the journey up to the second stage. His knowledge is only this much. He goes to the next one. And it differs from different places. A inventor in science dies say. He has great desire to find something. He will be born in such a house that will be his basic knowledge with the parents. I generally say parents' highest knowledge is the basic for the children. The gist of it will be there. Because that they grow in that situation. They know that much of that in the family, which also comes. And also that our Muniraj was telling, many of them will be coming through the genes also. Parents, our genes, what we get from our parents, we'll have that one. That's like this. Who told that bird to bring Gijiga, we call it, build such beautiful nest, which was not taught by mother, by itself and becomes a bigger one? How does it do it? It's already there in the bird. And our knowledge is also already there in us. Whatever we are to reach is already there in us. So we will go to the next one, taking help from our ears, eyes, skin, tongue, and nose, and having mind, we begin to continue the journey, having been born in a new life. That is what happens to each one of us when we leave this body. So nothing to regret. You may have a more beautiful body in the next life if you are not having one good one now, or a better position in the next life. So that is what Krishna promises us, even if we are born. If we are not born and get liberated, that's the best thing that he is telling us. And I believe it may not be possible for us in this life. We are on the journey, that's all. If his grace happens, anything could happen. That's a different thing. I think we can recite. Shrotram chakshus parsyanancha.
Shrotram chakshus parshanam cha.
Rasanam grana evacha.
Rasanam granam evacha.
Adhishtaya manaschayam.
Adhishtaya manaschayam.
Vishayanupasevate.
Vishayanupasevate.
Shrotram chakshus parsyanancha.
Shrotram chakshus parshanam cha.
Rasanam granamevacha.
Rasanam granam evacha.
Adhishtaya manaschayam.
Adhishtaya manaschayam.
Vishayanupasevate.
Vishayanupasevate.
Manaschayam nali, that ayam is the man who died in the previous life with certain qualities, having come to the new body, will be enjoying. That the cycle is continuing. So ayam means this man, this body, which was there previously in that life, has come to the new life. So that is how we proceed from one life to other. It is just like passengers in a train. Wherever our stop comes, we have to get down. We are all together. When the stop comes, get out and go. And nobody, new one will come to that place. So that goes on happening till we get down. So we will stop at that to do the prayer.